So you have a ceramic coating, and now you're wondering, how do I maintain it?
I'm Ivan.
I'm Nick.
And this is DIY Detail. Today, we're going to do a maintenance on this ceramic coated vehicle. Very easy to do. We're going to be using Rinseless Wash, a bit of all clean, and a bit of ceramic gloss to give it back its former glory of a freshly coated car.
Look, I do this for a living,
Right.
and I still prefer to use a hose.
Right.
It's not that it's scary to go hoseless, it's just that it feels like a statement to the universe. So this is a reminder to everybody that you can safely wash your vehicle, rinseless washing, without a hose. It's called maintenance.
Yeah.
It's not gonna be 3 weeks in between 17 winter storms in winter.
No.
But there are times when a no hose method is perfectly safe.
Exactly. And this vehicle is case in point. Yes, it has a bit of road grime on it. Not too much, no big accumulations. So we can spray it off with a keg and go from there.
Or a sprayer. The
Right.
keg is just a much more efficient way, not only for our fingers and our joints, but just actually for product, right?
Right. Now, before we do this though, I'm gonna spray a bit of all clean on the wheels because we're gonna do the wheels as rinseless as well.
And you can use all clean with the no hose method, which some people might be surprised, like, well, where does the all clean go? You'll see.
Yeah.
So you're gonna get that started. I'll get the pre-spray going.
Good.
This is a great thing you could do in the shade, and if you're gonna do it in sunlight, let's say we're in sunlight, I'm gonna do this. That's my rinseless. I'm gonna pre-spray that. I'm gonna wash with my sponge. I'm gonna dry with ceramic gloss, and I'm gonna move on to the next stage. Because we're under a beautiful garage, a canopy, no sunlight, we're gonna pre-spray the whole vehicle, right, Ivan?
All right.
How do you feel about one panel at a time method?
Works wonderful. It's great. It works. It does what it's supposed to do.
All right, there's gonna be people out there who've never touched a rinseless wash. They think this is blasphemy. Can you explain some of how the product that we're spraying on the surface right now actually works?
So first thing that it's doing, it's emulsifying the dirt. It's breaking it down. It is encapsulating it and lifting it off the surface, making it very easy to wash away. Secondly, this vehicle has a lot of embedded contamination on it. And we'll insert a little video here. Basically, you can tell your vehicle is contaminated with a credit card.
Let's listen.
There you go.
Oh, I could hear that.
Yeah. So you can hear it and you can feel it using your credit card. And it's not a trick because it's your card. The other aspect of the rinseless wash is it provides lubrication, lots of lubrication, meaning that when we're using the rinseless wash in the bucket, when we're pre-spraying it like that, the sponge is just gonna glide. Now, we have 4 gallons of water in the bucket, meaning 4 capfuls. If you want to get really scientific with the dilution, it's 4 milliliters to a liter, half an ounce to a gallon, or 256 to 1.
One thing people really like about our rinseless wash is it smells awesome.
Yep.
And it cleans exceptionally well.
Right.
Like people will just say like, I've never had a rinseless wash clean this well. Like I use it on wheels, I use it on bug guts, and I can see it working, and that's the idea. I mean, you've been teaching rinseless wash for years and years.
Right. So speaking of wheels, very easy. We take a flat tip nylon brush. Nick has pre-sprayed the wheels. We have the all clean on the tires. And simply we go around with the brush, and then Nick is gonna follow up with a nice dry towel, some ceramic gloss, and bingo, the wheels are done.
And that is a rinseless wash dunked flag tip brush, correct?
Exactly.
Look, if you're ever curious, will a rinseless wash scratch my paint? That's the time when you need to take a pause and say, I see a bunch of embedded dirt on there from off-roading, or I see, 50 pounds of bug guts on my paint. I'm just not sure about this. That's the time where you probably want to introduce a hose. The chemistry here is gonna work in your favor, but we're never encouraging you to just go, hey, Ivan said I could use rinseless wash on anything, right?
Right.
Like, how do you know when to draw the line on that? Because we're trying to educate you, not trying to sell you rinseless wash does everything you ever needed to do. It's great for most applications, but there are times when you need a pressure washer, or at least a hose.
Exactly. Basically, if you wouldn't take your soapy wash mitt to it, you wouldn't take your rinseless wash sponge to it either. It takes a bit of logic, a bit of thinking, and it's not that difficult to do.
I've sprayed some ceramic gloss on the wheel face here.
Yep.
And then I'm just using a dry towel. So I'm using the lubrication of ceramic gloss to aid in my drying. What I'm also doing here is catching anything that we may not have cleaned the first time. And I'm also adding that shine and protection. So in one step here, I'm doing a final clean. I have a little bit of a buffer for a safe dry. And I'm getting it all dialed in. Shiny, clean, dry. Another option you could do is the rinseless wash without doing the wheels. So let's just say you're real particular about your paint. The wheels don't really bother you. You could even save yourself a lot of time by just doing this rinseless wash method, leaving the wheels alone, and you can knock your paint out in about 10 minutes. What do you think, Ivan, 10 minutes?
Oh, easily.
Yeah. Because sometimes the wheels don't look dirty, but I just know that my paint needs a little love. Or sometimes I'll just do the wheels because the paint looks fine, and I'll do the wheels and then I'll put a little tire lotion on, and that will make the appearance change quite a bit.
Exactly.
Just time is a very valuable commodity.
It is.
And rinseless wash can be a huge time saver if you're just trying to run and gun, get a quick wash in, and get about your day.
So while Nick is finishing up on the wheels, I'm going to take our rinseless wash sponge, the legacy sponge. One squeeze, you want to have it just on the verge of dripping. And then, with no pressure, glide it across the surface. Since we're going to be decontaminating using the decontamination towel, I'm going to go over the surface twice in the same area, flipping the sponge. That way the grit that's on the surface, I'm sure I've taken it off. And the two-sided, or the two colors of the legacy sponge really helps with that, because I know which side I start. So if I start with the red side, I do the panel, and then I'll flip to the black side, and think of this as rinsing it off. Now I'm leaving nothing on the panel, bringing it back to the bucket, and off we go.
And I'm just using a dry microfiber to get these wheels dried, so the tires are going to be most receptive to tire lotion when they're totally dry. It's going to help your tire lotion last the longest. Since Ivan has our wash sponge, I'm just doing wheels, but I can get in there and wash with you if you'd like. Just let me know what you need, sir.
Yeah, well, find another sponge. I think we have a couple laying around here.
In the official DIY detail garage, I have to imagine so. Whew. Look at that, it just appeared out of
Thin air. Now, if we're working in direct sunlight, we could literally wash the panel and dry it immediately.
This can be a great in-betweener wash method too. Like, what would you prefer, Ivan? Just a quick wash of the paint, or like a quick rinseless of the wheels? Would you ever do one or the other if you were in a hurry?
I prefer to do both, and it doesn't take that long to do either one, so.
So true. When I first started detailing, I was washing my car every 2 days.
Yeah.
Rinseless washing in the garage. May have gone a little overboard.
Now, if your vehicle is not contaminated, like this one was, at this point, we'd just be drying it off and we're done. Every 6 months or so, maybe once a year, it's good to take the towel and decontaminate your paint. This Lexus is in great shape. It's been well maintained.
Got a good question for you, Ivan.
Yes, sir.
Let's say you're a car washer, right? You go through the drive-through car wash, but you still like washing your car.
Right.
What would be an acceptable ratio of drive-throughs, hand washes? When would you want to do one or the other? Like, is there a benefit to some kind of swapping? So you're not just doing one all the time. You're not just doing drive-throughs. Like, even though that may be introducing scratches, once you've gone drive-through, is there any point to come back to the hand wash?
Oh, definitely. You know, the hand wash does it has a lot of additional benefits. Drive-through car washes generally will use all sorts of different chemicals as drying aids that may or may not affect the performance of your coating. Whereas a good hand wash is only going to bring out the positive aspects of your coating.
And you're gonna be more meticulous with it.
Yeah.
So you're gonna get a lot of details that the car wash would have missed.
Right, we recently did a Cadillac on the channel that had been through a machine wash all its life. And there are areas at the back of the vehicle that had never been cleaned because the machine just can't get there.
Here's an example. Drive-through car wash may get a lot of the bug guts, but it's not gonna get all of them, very likely, right? And
Exactly.
a bug gut that sits on your front bumper for too long will literally etch into the clear coat, it'll etch into the paint. At which point you may have to machine polish or actually use sandpaper to remove that visual appearance of it. So if you're able to even hand wash once a month, you're giving yourself a fighting chance, right?
Exactly.
Or you could pre-treat it yourself, bring some stuff to the car wash if you want to be that guy. Pre-treat it with some Rinseless Wash or all clean before you go in, and then, you know, the possibilities are endless.
Exactly.
But let's just stick with what we're doing here today.
And if you're working by yourself, in your driveway, in your garage, get some wheels for your bucket so it follows you around, so you're not walking back and forth to it. Get your steps in by taking a good hike instead of going around your car too many times.
I love getting the steps in now that I'm old.
You're not old.
No, a good walk is underrated though. And you can walk around the car and not be efficient and get those steps in, Ivan.
Yeah, the back end is all done, Nick.
It's all done.
Yeah. Front end's all done.
Okay.
Now we're ready for the ceramic gloss and the clay towel.
I didn't realize which way you were going with this. So you want to do the ceramic gloss as the clay lube with the towel. It all makes sense now. One question we get is, how often can I use your clay towel?
Well, if you're using a clay towel, not very often. But a synthetic decontamination towel, you can use it as often as you want. There's no real limitation. So one spray on the panel, one spray on the towel. Where I spray the panel is where I deposit the towel, and no pressure whatsoever. I'm just gonna glide it across the surface. Now at this point, because of the ceramic gloss, it dries rather quickly. And the most efficient way of doing it would be actually to put a drying towel in your hand.
Okay. So you're gonna spray, you're gonna decontaminate,
Yeah,
and then I'll just follow behind with a towel.
exactly.
So we've got a protected surface here.
That is decontaminated, looking good.
And it's smelling good too because of the ceramic gloss.
Exactly. And no pressure whatsoever on the decontamination towel. You're just gliding it across the surface. You're not gonna scratch, you're not gonna mar the paint in any way, shape, or form. Don't forget to do the windows. Get all of that done. So Nick, I've done the half of the windshield and the little header in front of the sunroof.
Okay.
So while Nick is climbing up on the ladder there, I'll move to a different section so I'm not in his way and he's not in mine. And then we'll just hopscotch back and forth like that.
I don't need to put a spray of ceramic gloss on the paint or the towel, but it's not
No.
gonna hurt anything either. So if
No.
there's ever a question of lubrication, if something feels dry to you, the Rinseless Wash will provide the lubrication, but an extra spray of ceramic gloss is not gonna hurt.
No,
As long as you've got enough towel that's dry to buff it dry.
right. So again, where I put the spray of ceramic gloss is where I deposit the towel, and think of it in two ways. The ceramic gloss is providing lubrication for the towel, or you're using the towel to distribute the ceramic gloss. And we have a nice glossy, smooth finish.
I know that you talk about waterless wash, which is a totally different subject as a precision wash.
Yeah.
But when you're not introducing a hose, this feels very much like a precision wash as well. Like when I dry that window, I'm not getting drips everywhere.
Exactly.
Like what you see is what you get. You touch it, something happens. There's not a lot happening after you've left the panel dry.
No, exactly. Then I can come back here and do the rest of the roof while Nick dries that front part.
One small drip from probably that keg, but nothing crazy like you're fighting when you've got the pressure washer and the mirror just drips for ages. I'm just gonna gently toss that up there. If you can dry when you're done. I actually just did these tires, so I'm gonna re-emphasize that I used our tire lotion with this brush, just a few sprays, and it just adds a dramatic pop. I'm just trying to get this edge of the tire brush right along the edge of the tire. So I just find that line and I stay there. You don't want to be sloppy with it, so take your time. It does add a really nice accentuation to the vehicle, Ivan, and it can make a rinseless wash really pop.
Exactly. And speaking of popping rinseless washes, isn't there a video up here somewhere?
Right about there.